Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's the Eradicator, and we have a major Star Wars announcement here. A new Star Wars game that was just revealed at this year's Game Show Awards, and well, it's called Star Wars Eclipse. We're going to be having a look at the trailer first, and then we will be analyzing what we're seeing. It is very interesting. Let's have a look first. Very intriguing, and I like this mature looking approach. It doesn't seem like it's too cheesy. It doesn't seem like there is some kind of force of good versus force of evil, although they obviously are antagonists, right? But it's not like rubbed into our faces that we, the players, are such bad people and we are going to be given a lesson of morals by Lucasfilm. It doesn't seem to be like that, which is not like Star Wars Squadrons, right? So let's have a look. Let's go into details at what we're looking at here in this trailer, because there's definitely a lot to be talking about. So let's have a look again. Again, unknown species here. I'm quite a Star Wars buff. I know quite a bit about Star Wars, but I'm not very familiar with this species here. This race of characters here drumming and having some kind of celebration. I suppose that they are going to be part of the story, right? Obviously. But not really familiar with it. By the way, guys, no mention of Electronic Arts. Wonderful news here. This is a game that is developed by Quantic Dreams, which is a studio based in Paris, France, but no mention of Electronic Arts, showing that finally we're getting rid of that stupid, ridiculous exclusivity contract with Electronic Arts, and we're finally going to have a large variety of studios releasing games for Lucasfilm Games, and that is amazing news for Star Wars fans out there. Finally, so glad we've getting rid of EA. But no gameplay, obviously. This is all CGI cinematics, but still gives us an indication of what we could expect. This looks like, obviously there's a gas giant here. This could be the planet Yavin, with Yavin 4 in the back, and another moon of Yavin around. This is a possibility. Yavin 4 is obviously the fourth moon of the planet Yavin. There are other ones, and we could be traveling to one of those. It wouldn't be a surprise, because in Star Wars games, we often go back to locales or locations that players are familiar with from the game, but sometimes not the same locations exactly. Like, same with the movies. For example, in The Rise of Skywalker, we go back to Endor, but we don't go back to the Century moon of Endor. It's another moon of the Endor system, so it could be the same here with the Yavin system. I like the ship. The ship looks very much like a Star Citizen ship. If you guys are familiar with Star Citizen, which I talk mostly about on my main channel, it doesn't look so much like a Star Wars ship. But again, there's a reason for that, and we're going to talk about it later as we go through the trailer. All right, what are we looking at here? This looks like, in terms of architecture, and especially that river over there in the waterfront, this looks like Naboo. When you look, but again, it could be another planet in the Outer Rim, and obviously it's not Theed. Theed is the city that we see in Star Wars Episode 1 and Star Wars Episode 2. Theed doesn't have these skyscrapers and has structures. It could be another planet. It could be Ord Montel, for example. But this looks very similar to what we see on Naboo, and I think it would be so cool to see other places, and maybe a little nice throwback or some kind of build-up for what is going to come up in future movies, right? Or at least in Episode 1, which is set in the future. Yes, this is obviously set before Star Wars Episode 1. Some kind of market here, where people are there. I like to mingle with the populace in Star Wars. Just feels more immersive. I think it's very important to be among, to feel. In order to feel a part of the Star Wars universe, you gotta mix with the people of Star Wars. I think it's an opinion, and that's something that, in my opinion, was lacking in Jedi Fallen Order. I think Jedi Fallen Order was a great game, but it kind of felt very lonely. You didn't mix with people, and I think that it kind of broke my immersion a little bit. And I like what I'm seeing here. Familiar alien faces. We saw a Mon Calamari here. There's a Duro over there as well. I like to see that. Maybe like the eye patch here. Maybe some kind of parrot. Of course, we've got humans, obviously. I have no idea where this is, but this could be, again, the planet of Yavin in the back and some of the new moons that will be traveling around. And I like that we have fauna as well. World building is extremely important. It adds to the believability as well, right? Some familiar face. Here is Yoda. It looks like all story is going to be involving the Jedi, obviously, which also gives us an indication that this story is taking place before the events of the Skywalker saga. Yoda, well, we don't know that actually, but these are not the robes that Yoda has in the Skywalker saga, so maybe again, an indication that this could be happening before. These are some of the Mongs that we see in Rogue Squadron, Star Wars, in Star Wars Rogue One. Looks like they're coming back as well. Maybe it's going to be a split within the Jedi Order or different kinds of religious orders based around the Force. I'd like that they're going to expand this on the lore. This is obviously not C-3PO, but another type of naked droid. I like the little wink out there. Maybe some kind of companion that we'll be having around the game. Now, Star Wars, the game, this is called Star Wars Eclipse, so obviously we're going to have an eclipse. I have no idea where this is. It could be, because if you look at Alderaan in Star Wars The Old Republic, it could be the planet Alderaan. I would love to visit the planet Alderaan before its destruction, right? We have some Jedis obviously here. 2 Jedi fighting. It could be training, could be a betrayal. It could be one of those, because there were a couple of lost Jedis before Count Dooku. Could be one of those lost Jedi leaving the Order and some other Jedis trying to prevent that from happening. Some stories of turning into the dark side. I like those ships here. This is looking fantastic. It could be Kashyyyk, it could be another planet. I just like planets with oceans and the idea that it's not just always all about sand planets, but having some water as well. Definitely looks very lush. Let's have a look at this ship here. I am not familiar. With this ship at all, but it will be very interesting to have another look as we go through the trailer. Yeah, we see a couple of more of those here. And a Nemoidian. Looks like we're gonna indeed have something to do with the Trade Federation. Could this game be about the rise of the Trade Federation? Perhaps we are going to be following the rise of... I mean, can you imagine a game where you play as a young Darth Sidious? That would be fantastic too. Uh-oh, looks like we have more Jedis here. Yellow Blades, we don't see a lot of Yellow Blades, quite rare, right? I hope, what I have one hope though, is that it's not during the High Republic. The High Republic, not really the most popular area in Star Wars, right? And even among Star Wars managers now, the so-called Star Wars Civil War within Lucasfilm, it seems like the High Republic is on its way out. So what I hope is that this is going to be taking place not during that period, but maybe 50 to 100 years before Episode 1. I would love to see something around Dark Plagueis or Young Sidious. That would be amazing. What are we looking at here? Icy Planet. Could these be the tiles from Aslog 6? Okay, perhaps. Oh, look at that here. We're having a look at Trade Federation soldiers. Now, this is also very interesting. Again, showing that these are going to be the antagonists of this game, and I would love to see how they're going to be rising to prominence and becoming a force to be reckoned with in the Star Wars universe. That would be very interesting for sure. And that is a very impressive shots here with very menacing ground vehicles. And we have, of course, those Trade Federation battleships, more of those vessels that we saw before. Again, I really don't recognize them. They look a little bit like an asymmetrical airspeeder, T-47 airspeeder that we see in Empire Strikes Back. But again, I have no idea what these are. I can't recognize the planet downstairs, down below though. Familiar shots here from Star Wars Episode 1, but this time happening in this game. I'm so hyped, guys. I don't know what you guys feel. Oh, wow. Massive scale battle, actually. Now we recognize the Trade Federation dropships here that they are using to invade planets. I don't know what those starships are. I've never seen these designs before, but it's great to be seeing new designs. Could these be from Mandalore? They look quite Mandalorian. If you look at some of, I think we see some of those Mandalorian designs in Star Wars Empire at War, the expansion, but I'm just speculating here. No idea. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section down below. Oh, these are not the same ships here. Let's go down below. They have some kind of circle around them. So it's another design. Maybe it could be interceptors. Could this game have ground gameplay and space gameplay too? That would be great. I love a good old space battle as well. And I like the fact that this is happening in another era, right? It's not the era from The Mandalorian. It's definitely not the sequel trilogy, thank God, right? It feels fresh. It's not the prequel as well. It's a little bit before. And I like what I'm seeing here. I like the reference to, this is like from Dune, right? Looking very cool indeed when we see Baron Harkonnen in Dune coming out of the slime. Very reminiscent of that. And there you go, Star Wars Eclipse. We will be talking more about this on the channel as we get more details. We don't know when it's coming up. I don't think it's going to be next year because we haven't seen any gameplay, but we could have some surprises, obviously, right? And yeah, stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe for more details. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. A huge shout out to everyone who's been helping me out on Patreon and via the YouTube Joint membership program. Creating content on YouTube involves continuous circles of ups and downs, and it is when we are the lower parts of the curve that your help really motivates me to keep on going. Your contribution really does make a difference, which is why in return I try to give back by offering backers access to my private Discord channel, automatic access to exclusive giveaways, or answering your questions during the show. You can help me out with as little as $1 a month, and any help is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching again. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.